Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I've got a message for Libra today. And to let you know how this works, I've asked my guides and spirit to bring a message through that is deeply meaningful and helpful for you this week as you navigate what's going on in your world. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. You are strongly encouraged to subscribe so that you can stay in contact with this very supportive, high vibration information every week to really help you move forward. So moving forward is what your reading is all about, Libra. We've got this to start. This is great. Judgment card to the past and 3 of Wands to the future. So Judgment card is talking about the past, and that is the energy around you this week. But you're deciding to go a different way. You're literally deciding to walk forward, to trust yourself, to move into a new space that you've never been before. So it's kind of like, I feel like this is a very peaceful acknowledgement of the past, and you're just like, you know what? I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to keep going. So you've decided, you've taken some action, you're starting to begin that journey into the unknown. And like I said, this just feels very peaceful. It doesn't feel like, it was jarring or violent or like you were forced. You're just calmly going along. And the rest of your story is very interesting. We've got the 9 of Cups into the 4 of Pentacles and then ending in the Lovers. And I'm seeing stuff on my Lovers card that I've never seen before. I've had these cards for many years and sometimes I still see new things. It's hard to see, but there's a bunch of acorns in there, and they're acorns that are stone. So that message to me says growth, your growth is set in stone. You always need to choose the growth over everything. But there's parts of you on the inside that are resisting that because it's much easier to stick with the familiar patterns of control. So let me kind of break that down a little bit. 9 of Cups here. Even though the fish are swimming off the card, and 9 of Cups is usually a beneficial, blessing kind of a card. It brings us good things. The fish represent those things we desire, and they're kind of flowing off the card. But the figure himself, he's taken a high dive straight into the dragon. So it's like he becomes the dragon. He's wanting to merge with that energy of the 4 of Pentacles. And the 4 of Pentacles is when we're afraid to let go. I mean, that's really what control is in a nutshell. Someone with control issues is afraid to let go of what feels safe, what feels comfortable, what they know the outcome of. And so even though you're walking this new journey, there is going to be the temptation, and I'm using that word on purpose, there's going to be the temptation to succumb to those old patterns of control, which actually oppose the growth and actually oppose the direction of your wishes, of your heart's desire. So this 4 of Pentacles, I asked why would this be coming up? And it's fear. So even though you're calmly walking towards this new place, there's still a little bit of fear inside you because you're not sure what the unknown means. And these control patterns were formed from fear in the first place, from not trusting that things are going to work out okay, or understanding that you don't need to be in control of every tiny little thing, right? This 4 of Pentacles is offering you to let go of some of that control, to release some of it so that you can have that flow that you desire. And it's funny because, I'm kind of feeling conflicted telling you about this because you feel on the outside that you have. You feel like, well, I go with the flow. I don't need to control, but this is going on the inside. So let's get into the Lovers card a little bit. There is a snake here holding an apple, and that's the Adam and Eve symbolism of temptation. And that snake is kind of leaning towards the dragon. And in some cultures, the snake and the dragon are kind of the same thing. Like a snake is the little dragon in Chinese astrology. So there's part of you that is really tempted to go into those old patterns and to go to that control because you're not quite sure what that growth looks like. But the growth is actually more solid for you than the control is. It just doesn't seem that way. So there's like 3 layers of things going on. On the inside is your soul desiring growth. Then the layer in front of that are those control patterns that are like, nope, it's not safe if we're growing. I don't want to do that. I'm afraid of the growth. I'm afraid of what's going to happen. And then on the outest most layer is you saying to yourself, yeah, I'm okay with growth. It's all right. But the problem is that dragon's kind of on the inside, that we have to remove him out of the way so that these acorns can actually come to life, because right now they're part of the gray stone. So even though your growth is set in stone, it's not actually moving. And so I'm feeling like some kind of indecisiveness with the lovers here, where they don't exactly know how to move forward. Which way are we going? With a pure intention, or with that temptation of the old? Are we going into the new? Are we going into the old? What are we doing? And there's a bit of a vacillation going on without a clear direction forward. So whatever you're holding on to, whatever old stuff you're holding on to, if you are truly desiring to align yourself with your soul, it's about releasing those patterns so you can move forward. Let me see if they can give us anything more specific. If you could just give me a second. Okay, they're asking me to look at this Nine of Cups card, and they said, why are the fish getting bigger on the bottom? So there's small fish here, and then they flow off here. So it's kind of like the control is going after this small fish. There's bigger things that are going to come to you, bigger opportunities, bigger stages of yourself that you're going to see, like new parts of yourself, like bigger picture stuff, like big things. And this control is like going after the minutia, sweating the small stuff. So they're saying release all of that, because there's bigger blessings coming to you. There's a bigger life purpose. And there's a bigger reason for why you're going through this. And you don't need to be letting those little things hang you up. So I feel like this is a really positive, encouraging message. And hopefully being aware of those little sticking points when you're resisting that forward direction, that's going to help you release them just through the awareness alone. You know, oh, I'm doing my thing. Sorry, we're moving forward. I don't need you anymore. Kind of talk to your pattern. And if you felt yourself resisting, that's perfectly okay. But just understand that you're resisting because there's a grain of truth in what these words are. So I encourage you to really kind of think about it and just consider it. So thank you again for joining me this week. I love doing these readings for you, really enjoy them. And if you're curious about a more personal message from Source, you know, what does Source really want to say to you specifically, I am available for readings one-on-one. TrueGuidanceTarot.com will give you more information. And if you're curious to learn about the tarot and how to really tap into your intuition through the tarot, I'm also offering classes on that. And they're online, so we don't even have to be in the same place. And they're really awesome classes. They're like nothing you'll ever take. They're really, really special. So again, True Guidance Tarot if you want to check it out. And I'll see you next week. Looking forward to it.